Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to askNK. Today we're taking a look at the city generator from Andreas. This is by far one of the most advanced city generator we've seen yet, and it is now available for anyone who likes to grab it. This allows you to create cities, generate traffic, play and create interesting lighting simulation for nighttime, and at the same time, it comes with procedural materials that you can play with. This is currently available for both EV and cycles, and it has a lot of features and functions that you should definitely not sleep on. And for those who like to get this, then you can simply go over to link in the description where you can grab it. Speaking of things that you can grab, right now, the folks at Humble Bundle are partnering with the folks at Blender Market, and they're giving out the Essential Game Mode Toolkit. This comes with a ton of things. So just in case you like to grab any of these add-ons that are right here, or probably you're looking for interesting assets that you can work with, or potential assets that you can play with, or create some very interesting stuff with, then this is definitely one you should consider checking out. All of these add-on asset tutorials and also props that you'll be getting here are valued at 1,428.44 euros, but at this point you'll be able to get them for 27.95 or 32.95. Any amount you use in purchasing stuff, a portion of it gets donated to charity, and this is definitely a worthy pack for you to get. And for those who like to get this, or probably you want to get some more stuff, then links to this is going to be in the description, so do well to check it out. And with that said, let's dive directly into Blender and take a look at how the city generator actually works. So with Blender simply open up right here, how you get things going is super simple. Once you download this comes as a zip file, which you can simply install by going over to edit, going over to preference, go over to where you've got add-on, and then you can click on install and install the add-on. And once you're done, you can click on the bugger menu, save your preference and close the window. And once you do that, what you need to do is tap N on the keyboard, and right here, you would notice that we have the city generator. So with the city generator, how you generate cities is really quick and extremely useful. So all you need to do is hit the import city generator, and that is going to create a city. It's a one-click action. You don't need to, do anything crazy. Just one click and you have it going. So this is the city generator, and this is how cool it is. And for you to start making more stuff is as easy as jumping over to the edit mode, selecting any of the selection modes, which includes the vertices, edges, or even the faces. And you can literally start making modifications to a particular face or a particular edge, and automatically it starts modifying that city. And in case you're working with a knife tool, you can also choose to use a knife tool to cut from one edge all the way to another edge. Press the enter key to apply that, and that will cut through and also create a city with a traffic system, vegetation, utilities, buildings, and all of that. The buildings are pretty individual and unique. So in this case, you can now go in and start doing some stuff. And for those who like to use array for creating multiple stuff, this also works super nicely. So all you need to do is create the city, throw in an array, increase that as much as you want, and then you can load up as many arrays as you want. One thing which you'd also notice with this is, unlike other tools that when you throw in an array, it breaks in the middle, these ones, they don't break. The array simply holds everything together, and you build one unified city as you proceed. Right here, if you like to see what this looks like at the end of the day, what we're going to do is take a look at this in cycles, set this all the way to GPU. We're also going to make sure that I have this set to the noise, and let's run this. So once we have this going, this is basically what you get. Now, of course, you wouldn't be seeing so much because we don't have enough light. So I'm just simply going to throw in that sunlight in, and we're going to go over to light parameter, and I'm going to set this to about 8. And so once we have that, you can now see the city. So everything looks super nice. Like, take a look at all of the texture. Like we mentioned earlier, the textures are procedural. You can see we have different cars all packed. We have the vegetation. You can also notice the street corners. We've got the bins where the bins are. We've got the utility stuff everywhere. And we've also got some sides too. There's a lot of work that has been put into this, and this is looking amazing. Now, despite the fact that this is looking amazing, and of course you can simply go ahead and start creating impressive cities with this, one of the things that you might also want to know is all of these are built extremely procedurally, so you can make changes to anything at any point in time. And how do I mean? If we simply jump all the way back to the shaded mode, let's take a look at some parameters, or should I call them properties, that exist here. So once you have the city selected and you go over to the geometry setting, we can turn all of these high-rise buildings and all of these high-quality detailed buildings to low poly, and this is going to help with performance. At the same time, if you just want to isolate the buildings so you can make some modifications, you can also choose to do that. This would come in very handy if there is a particular thing you want to do at a particular time and you just want to focus on the buildings, then this makes sense. And the same isolation works for almost everything. So if we go over to the street section, we can also isolate just the street so we can see how the street actually looks. And right over here, you'd also notice that we've got a couple of paths running through. Now, these paths they deal with the traffic simulation. So we can also choose to show or hide the traffic path, and we can isolate the traffic path just so that you can see how traffic flows right here. So once we press the playback button, you don't need to download cars or create animated cars anymore. Automatically, this comes with animated cars and they follow the traffic rules, and this is super nice. If you want to make some changes to this, of course you can. So we can increase the number of traffic paths. We can also increase the start position, the stop position. We can play with the speed, how much speed we want. We can also play with the seating as well, which is changing the cars and also giving us some variation. Some other things that you might also want to do is the traffic light stop distance. You can also make those changes as well, and you can choose to make some more changes to the overall look of the scene. So if we turn this off and switch over to our cycles, I would like to show you guys some more modifications that you can do for the street. So with the street right here, we can start making some pretty cool modifications. So if we go over down to where we have the road markings, we can increase the road marking. So maybe we'd like to increase the width of the road marking. That is fine. We can actually go ahead and do that. We can also choose to increase the length if this is also something that we're into. Line distances can also be changed, so you can also make changes to line distances depending on the kind of road that you're trying to build. And at the same time, we can choose to make some changes to the zebra crossing, the road sides. You've also got the red lines, which are more like no parking areas. You can also make changes to that if you want, so we can actually increase the probability of having them around. And that is something that is pretty interesting. Right over here, we've got the manhole decals. So all of these manholes here, we can make changes to them. So depending on where you like the manholes to be or the sizes of the manholes, you can go in and make some changes right there. We can also play with the seats, so we can have some random positioning, and all of these are now available for you to work with. More so, if you're also thinking about playing with more of this, probably you like to bake the simulation or calculate more stuff. Say for example, we make some changes to all of these and we would like to calculate or bake the simulation, we can. Now you cannot bake simulations if you don't have your files saved. And so what we're going to do is just simply save this as city. And once we have that ready, you would now notice that we have the bake simulation turned on. Let's simply jump all the way back and then click on calculate to frame, click on bake simulation, and that's it. We've baked our simulation. Other things that you can now do includes going over to the material section and start making some changes to the material. So for example, if you would like to make changes to the road materials, you can add some warness if you want. So if you don't want it to look super clean, you can do that. Then we've got a lot of changes, which includes, like the car paint for all of these cars that we have. So all of these things are right here. Moving down, we have the light settings. Now for the night light settings, let's simply switch back and then turn off this sunlight so that you guys can see that glorious night view. So we're simply going to go ahead and turn this off and zoom all the way out. So for the night view, if we simply turn on the night light, switch this to cycles, just take a look at this beauty. So we can go all the way down. Let's simply dial down. All right, so we can go all the way down and you can see the beautiful lights that we have here. So to all of these lights that we have here, we can choose to optimize them to be cycle lights. And so once we do that, this looks even way cleaner. We can now go over to the street light settings and make some adjustments. So depending on how much emissions we want for the car lights, we can also choose to turn this on or turn this off. These are more right here, and you can get even more stuff from the city generator. And for those who might be wondering, what about crowds? Can I work with these alongside crowds? Yes, you can. So if you simply go over to the folks at Diffuse Studio, they're currently doing a 20% off on their procedural crowds pro. So you might want to grab this one right now and also work with that alongside the city generator. These are beautiful tools that you can work with, and for those who are also thinking about grabbing more stuff which you can use for backgrounds, then you might want to consider taking a look at the Terra Paint, which is now doing a 25% launch offer, and even more stuff can be found right here on Humble Bundle. So this is it. Tell me what you guys think about this ones in the comment section. Links to all of this is going to be in the description, so do well to check it out. And of course, if you like this video or you learned something from this, you can go ahead and give a like, and don't forget to share with a friend. And until I see you guys in the next one, peace.